If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Young Nab, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the other episode of the All Over Podcast. Janaya is back again, guys.
Hey, hello.
It's been a minute, y'all. We haven't really, recorded. It's been a lot
Yeah,
going
we
on.
took a week off last week because I don't know. Well, of course, our family knows that where we are, but for those of you that's out of state that doesn't know, we live in Buffalo, and I'm sure you guys are aware of the tragedy that happened here a week ago from yesterday, actually. So it's one thing when it happened in your city, but when it happens in your community, that's a whole nother feeling because it literally took place 5 minutes from where we are right now. So just to start this episode off, we're gonna have, a moment of silence. So let's just okay.
Well, yeah, man. How's everything going? Straight? Y'all good?
I got a drawn out answer. Janai, how you feeling before I just dive into that?
Like, I'm just to put more input into what you're saying, like, it's just a different feeling. My mind right now is just everywhere because, something tragic has happened in our community, and you never want to think like it can't happen here, but we would think never in a million years like it would be so close. We know it can happen anywhere.
We always say never in Buffalo.
Right.
Oh, it wouldn't happen in Buffalo. Like, why would it happen here? Yeah.
So it's just like, shoot, I still haven't even processed a lot of everything. My heart definitely just goes out to the family members of those who have lost their lives and to the ones who didn't lose their life but are in recovery right now.
Right, because we got a cousin that was in the store actually, and
that was in the store.
He's dealing with a lot of trauma right now.
Yeah, I was me and my dad was talking to him, and I don't want to put too much of his business out there, but he was saying how somebody was knocking at his door like a couple days after it happened, and he jumped up and ran into the closet and started hiding because it's trauma,
It's traumatizing.
And the sad thing is, the news is they're not really talking about the survivors; they're talking about the victims too.
Just saying, like, definitely we are not taking anything from anybody, but when the other day they were saying, like, for the people who survived, we're praying for the people who survived but who did get hit.
Right.
Still, but no, you need to make sure that the ones who seen firsthand people get killed and did survive and didn't get shot.
Need a lot of therapy for
they
that
need
type of
a lot of therapy, and it's gonna take time for them to even be able to get back to normal because
they need actual therapy because like I was saying, our cousin, he said he went to one of the mental health resources that they had in the city, and I guess it was ran by a church. They pretty much just gave him a hug and said, "We praying for you." And that's not, I mean, I'm all for prayer. I believe that prayer works, but I also believe in seeking therapy. Like those people they have deep rooted, they're gonna have trauma from they're traumatized.
They need to sit down with a doctor to somebody. They need to sit down and talk to somebody.
That's why when people come back from the army and they on the battlefield, they're like, they got PTSD from that. That seeing something like that firsthand is not easy to see, bro, at all.
It's not. And being comfortable with yourself, like, wow, that could have been me. Should it be me?
Honestly, because even like I wasn't even in the store, and I'm sure all of us went through the same thought process. Like, we wasn't in the store, but like I said, it's 5 minutes from where we live. That could have been any of us.
I have 2 kids, and I go get their Enfamil, their WIC, everything from that store, and I could have very easily been there with my 2 children. It's crazy to think about.
I heard I actually heard that he was chasing a mom and her kid.
I don't know if that's
I don't know if that's
I don't
necessarily
know
true, but
yeah.
I don't think it's too far fetched if you ask me. He,
who knows? We not gonna
Yeah.
give him too much airtime because he's sick and demented. But yeah, it's just when I first heard it happen, that's the first thing that came to my mind was, yo, that could have been me, that could have been my dad, that could have been Janiyah or Norm, that could have been Madison, like because we all live
We
right
all
here.
live-
close in this community,
Yes,
bro.
we all
Jesus
live
Christ.
like 1
Not
minute
even-
from each other in the car. Me, Zion, Madison,
Yeah.
Norm.
It's like a 5 to 7 minute drive from that store, y'all. Not
Right,
even joking.
like we can walk to I have walked to that store. That's
Yes.
how, like, y'all don't understand how close this store is to where we live. So
and
it's,
not even where we live, but where we grew up. Because
Right.
me and Norm, we grew
Right,
up
our grandma
right there.
lived right in this community as well, man. So
Yes.
to just see something, it's like when I want to say this, like now I really do feel the people that like that Sandy Hook shooting, like that happened years ago.
Yeah.
I'd feel y'all pain now, man, because when I first heard about it, I was a little younger. But when the most recent one, like I want to say, I think it was in Detroit, Michigan, and I was actually on the radio show talking about it. And I said, man, my heart goes out to you guys. And I was just, giving the details on it. And, I was just like, man, it's, it hurts to hear something like that. But like y'all said, there's a difference between it happening and you hearing about it. But then when it actually happens in your city where you grew up at, it's a completely different feeling, bro.
Absolutely.
And like, I never, like y'all said, you never would think it would happen anywhere like here. But when it did happen, I still don't even know how to feel. I don't even know how to feel, man.
And that's why, because I struggle with like talking about this here today. But the thing is, I haven't been talking about it. And I realized, I know that keeping stuff in your head is not healthy at all. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get here. I'm comfortable with y'all. It's like, we can talk about it. All three of us can kind of just start some type of healing journey here, right now, and kind of just, let our thoughts on how we feel about it. Because, yeah, this whole entire week I've been all over the place with it. And then it's like
more threats.
Yeah.
I've been hearing about more threats everywhere, bro.
Yeah, not only
California
that,
had a threat,
not
man.
even only that, but I have been hearing, and I don't know if y'all have been hearing, but it's a lot of racist things that are going on in schools now. Have y'all been hearing about that?
Yeah, schools been on some like
you would hear stuff. You would hear stuff here and there about it, but this past week since the shooting, I have been seeing a lot of things about. It's been 3 or 4 times where I have seen different schools do some racist things, and I just been like, what's going on?
Did y'all hear about Greg Foster?
No, who's that?
Greg Foster is a New York State corrections officer. He worked at Attica Prison.
Oh, yes, I did hear about him.
What he put on Facebook about cleanup on aisle 3, 7, 9, 4, all of the aisles actually.
Yeah, that's not.
That is so sick.
And then he gonna comment. What did he say? He was like, "Is this too soon? This should weed out some Facebook friends." Let me tell y'all something. The internet is a powerful thing.
It is.
And what you say, it lasts forever. Because as soon as he put that up, people had, and I'm not condoning what they did, but they had his address online.
Number.
They had his number. They figured out where he worked at, that's how we found out he was a corrections officer. So like, be careful what y'all say online because it will come back to bite you. Yeah. He got suspended from his job, and they're seeking termination. So.
And he's saying that sorry to cut you off, Zion. I was listening to one of his coworkers actually had a conversation with him over the phone.
Yep.
And recorded the conversation, and he was saying that he just thought it would bring some light or a good laughing matter to the situation. Why would anything like that be funny?
Let me see if I can. Here we go.
If I make inappropriate jokes, sometimes just lighten the mood. This one obviously did not do that. Greg, I apologize. Greg, listen to me. Greg, listen to me. Greg, shut up, because now it's my turn to talk. I listened to you spit your rhetoric out of nonsense out for the last 9 minutes of trying to explain yourself. I'm going to tell you this, and you need to pass this along to all your. I'm not going to call your friends racist because I don't know if your friends are racist. I don't know you to be racist for a fact. I can promise you they're not. You're hearing it from a black man that what you did was completely distasteful. Whatever comes behind it, you earned it 110%. Yep. You're going to become Facebook famous and social media famous because of your ignorant, distasteful comments in regards to a tragedy that happened in the city of Buffalo. And for somehow you to be part of the Buffalo Bills Mafia and put all that shit all over your fucking page of Bills Mafia this and Bills Mafia that, for you to make a fucking joke of any type of insensitivity to the situation where people are burying their loved ones and planning funerals because they went to a fucking grocery store, and somehow you find the time to sit there and say, clean up on aisle 2, 3, 7, 8. You found that fucking to be funny? You seen that meme and thought it was fucking funny? That's what the fuck you thought? And this needs to go to all the people that don't share my skin color. Why the fuck do y'all think situations like this is fucking funny? Then you hide behind a fucking keyboard and make fucking insensitive fucking jokes. And now, no, hold on, Greg. I'm not fucking done, Greg. If your last day you get fucking blamed on the fucking internet the way the fuck you did, and they put all your information on the fucking internet, you wouldn't be sorry. You wouldn't feel bad.
That's a fact.
But now you feel bad because all your fucking information is spread all over the fucking internet. But again, at any point in time, I'll be back in Buffalo. I'll be back in town next week. If you would literally, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you would like to sit down,
why do I want to sit down and have a
drink with you? Greg, listen to me. Greg, listen to me. Greg, and I want you to hear me loud and clear, Greg. If me and you were in the same vicinity, I'm liable to smack the fuck out of you. Like listen to me. I will be a backhand. I will disrespectfully slap the fuck out of you for the people that you disrespected on Jefferson Avenue that passed away because they went out on a Saturday afternoon to do grocery shopping and take care of bills and shit. And somehow you found it to be fucking funny. You want to offer me a fucking drink? I will smack the dog shit out of you. If that makes you feel better, so be it. But well, yeah, let's set that appointment up so I can smack the dog shit out of you then. Are you telling me that?
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah,
get the gist.
that was. First of all, shout out to that Black King for getting him, setting Greg in his place.
100%. Nah, not even.
Definitely.
Not even on no funny stuff like that.
Definitely. Somebody it's time for people like that to be called out.
Yeah.
It's time for people like that to be called out because too many times things like this get just dismissed,
thrown under the bus.
Yep. It's time for people to start getting called out. It's time.
Yeah, it's time. It's definitely time for them to start being held accountable. Because
you want to know what's very scary to me?
What?
When things like this happen, whether it be a mass shooting or signs of racism, or like I said, I think we talked about this in the past, but even with that George Floyd situation, you literally saw how many racist people there were. When stuff like this happened and when it's controversial all around the world, people start to show their true colors.
They feel empowered when things like this happen.
Very much,
and bro. Especially after us coming off of 4 years of Donald Trump, like the whole Trump administration as a whole, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, I don't care what you cannot look me in the face and say that Donald Trump did not enable racism. It's not that people always say, "Oh, racism is back." No, racism never went anywhere. Donald Trump just he allowed them to feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, he added fire to the flames.
Definitely.
I saw this other post on Facebook. It said, if you are a white person in Buffalo and you love the Black community, this is your time to speak up and stand. We don't give a F about Bills Mafia. We don't give a F about how many Griselda songs you know. We don't give a F about how much you appreciate Black culture. Because if a Black man went into a effing Wegmans or Dashes and killed the dog, the whole white America would mourn. A white man just went into the hood and killed 8 of ours. Say something, do something. Show us something other than privilege and supremacy.
And I do also want to say and give a shout out to, I don't know if anybody will hear this, but all down Jefferson Avenue, all down Ferry Avenue, Caucasians have just been coming out and really supporting. And I just
going out of their way.
Thank you spending their money.
Making multiple trips back and forth from the grocery store,
and then coming and donating all of the food that they're buying. They're buying diapers, Enfamil. We all know that it's a Enfamil shortage. Yep. Like, not everyone. It's just good to see that not everyone is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody is like that, and that's the clear picture you can see.
For those of you listening outside of the Buffalo, New York area, the news isn't, well, first of all, I think most of the national stations have left. So CNN and all of them, they aren't here anymore. But like Janai said, they're not showing how literally the street is called Jefferson Avenue, Jefferson Street. I know it's called Jefferson Avenue.
But
the street where it happened.
They
literally, the street is blocked off and it's just vendors, and they're not asking for tickets. They're not asking for money. You go up there and you
give it away.
Get there, giving it away.
I swear to God, the other day we literally we came home with like
we went grocery shopping.
You can go grocery shopping. Yes.
Jesus Christ, man. And I think that that's the type of things that we need in the community. And I'm not even just saying like when we mourn, but Black people and white people in all cultures really do need to just come together instead of it being so much segregation.
Diverted.
No, diverted. Well, everything is diverse nowadays, but as far as it being so segregated, I just think we all need to come together, bro.
Because
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, one of my friends said something to me, and I just said like that's really a fact. She said her mom used to always say because racism is taught.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Learned. You know what I'm saying? No one just like so. And she was like, my mom, the way we was raised, my mom always told us, when we die or if we get hurt, we fall down, we all bleed the same blood.
Yep.
It's nothing different. It's nothing that nobody has, that we all have the same thing. And that really stuck with me because that's really how it is. And it's just sad that it's just sad that the way the world is now. And
I'm hurt over the fact that it's not like what happened isn't in the news cycle anymore. And now I feel how like other communities of mass shootings feel, because this shouldn't be something that's talked about for a week. And that if you turn on CNN right now, they back to the war in Ukraine. And while that's important, yes, we got domestic issues right here. That's a domestic terrorist attack that took place on our soil. And y'all not talking about it. Now y'all trying to pull the mentally ill card, talking about this man was mentally ill. He wasn't.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, and I heard people were saying that that's out of the picture. He's not going to be charged with that. But no, a news reporter was just on there and was like, yeah, obviously something is wrong with him. It is something wrong with his mental. Like, no, we're not going to pull that card, and we're not claiming that. We're not doing that. We're not even going to start that. And this was just 2 days ago. This man was saying
and to whoever that reporter is, don't be stupid and do not be insensitive, because you know for a fact that you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. And you know what you're trying to do. What I will say is that literally they tried to make an excuse saying COVID messed with his brain. Are you kidding me?
His aunts had said that. Talk about
Jesus Christ, bro. Like what?
I've seen, I lived through COVID. I wasn't born in 2020. I lived through it, and I've never heard of nobody killing somebody because they had COVID.
Yeah, and then they tried to say that since he's 18. That his brain isn't fully developed. My guy, I'm 19, and I would never make a decision.
His brain was developed enough to drive here back in March
for 3 hours
and scout out the place.
Right.
His brain was developed, right, like you said, to drive 3 hours to do it. His brain was developed enough to drive to across the Pennsylvania border and get a 30-round mag.
Man,
like
the day
not
before.
Even only that, he came here the day before and took the same trip, and then went home.
Yeah, and
the next morning came back and did it.
Don't tell me that his brain isn't fully formed.
He tried to. He was talking to, I think it was a black guy. He bought him a Gatorade, trying to be so nice.
And ask the man who checked him out. Are you gonna be here tomorrow? With a smile on his face. The man said, "Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow, dude." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He didn't say I'll be here tomorrow, but he just said, "Yeah, okay." Right. And it smiled in his face, like
you bought the man a Gatorade that you've turned around and
Jesus,
and that's and I don't want to focus too much on him, like I said, but I really want to focus on the community aspect of it, because all of us. We was born on the east side of Buffalo, and the east side of Buffalo, we ain't gonna sugarcoat. It's the bad side of town,
the hood.
But to see how the community came together and really like Buffalo love, that's what I saw this 100%. This whole week. 100%. Like people just coming together, and it wasn't about what hood you from or what street you from. We all suffering together, so we gonna get through this together.
They do say Buffalo is the city of good neighbors, and I'm really starting to see now, like finally we are living up to that name. Yeah. It's sad that something like this had to happen for it to happen, but it's just good to see Buffalo coming together for once, you know.
And I want to say something. I just want to we ain't gonna switch topics. We're kind of gonna be talking about the same thing, but man, what you were just saying, it wasn't about what street you was from, what you rep or anything like that. Man, I just want to make a little statement right now. If anybody out there is like in a gang, I know some people don't have a choice. To the people that don't have a choice and they was brought up into that, okay, cool. But if you know what I'm saying, if you're just a regular person and you just want to get more money and you want to sell drugs and you want to do this, bro, some of y'all just lost y'all grandmother, bro, from a shooting. Now, how do you think it feels when you go up to somebody, whether they be white, Puerto Rican, black, whatever they are, and they're in a gang as well, and you go and shoot up their family members. It's not a good feeling, bro. Gun violence is,
As a whole,
it's
it should
terrible,
be
bro.
stopped. It should be
It's
stopped.
terrible. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in the gang, oh, don't be in the gang. That's not what I'm saying, because I know some people, they can't help it. They're brought up into it, but you know, it's a difference when you actually have a choice. Some people, you know, they're from the struggle and they got to provide for their family and they got to do this and they got to do that and they got to
Right.
push weight. But it's a big difference when you just out here and you trying to rep a gang and you got beef with a gang, so you just out here killing to kill, bro. It's terrible, bro.
Yeah.
It is terrible,
another thing
man.
that I have learned is the reason that a lot of people don't respect like us as a whole, and the reason why they think like they can do things. Anybody, I'm not just talking about Caucasians or anything, but we don't even respect ourselves.
Exactly.
We don't respect each other. You going and killing out the same people who has the same color skin as you. I also do want to bring this up too, but I'll say this after. But yeah, we don't even respect ourselves, so they look at us like, shoot, they don't even respect each other. Shoot, why should we?
That's a fact.
But this is what I wanted to say. I was also I know everyone is probably familiar with TikTok. I was scrolling down TikTok last night, and this girl, I follow her. Her name is Brene on TikTok. She was saying that you got all of these different races, and every other race sticks together. Every other race. Buffalo is the only race that you
Black
got
people.
Sorry. Black people are the only race that really doesn't really stick together. And it really is like that. You see Arabians who got vans and vans, and it's just them and their family, and they don't worry about shoot, when you get 18, you getting out of my house. You know what I'm saying? They live there and they live together. Caucasians, they stick together. They don't matter what they do, right or wrong, they gonna stick together.
And you know, and I'm not trying to justify that. I'm not saying it's right, but that's by design. After slavery ended, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna try. If I can remember, I'll put it on the All Over Podcast Instagram story. But there is a man who came up with a theory or an idea. I don't really know what to call it, but he basically proposed like, we need to do this, this, and this in order to keep Black people from unifying. Because if they ever truly unify, it's over for us.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Because honestly,
Definitely.
I believe that first, okay, so they just did the census, and I believe the census said that we are the third or fourth most populated race in America. I don't believe that though, because a lot of people don't know the importance of the census, so a lot of Black people don't take the census. I really think that we're more like, we may be the majority in this country and just not
like
know it, or
or
we at
one.
least number 2.
Yeah,
but
facts.
I wouldn't be
That's a
surprised if
fact.
we number 1. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, it's by design. White people know that if we unify, it's over for them. You know, by the year 2045, I believe the world in general is supposed to be majority minority. And that's what scares them, because they know all the dirt they did to us. They think we're gonna do to them, where we ain't even like that.
We even learn.
We not thinking about retribution. Y'all worried that we gonna do y'all like y'all did us. We ain't worried about that. Because once we get on top, we just gonna be focused on staying there.
Not staying there, because we've been down so long.
Right. We ain't focused on no genocides bringing our people down again, bro.
Exactly. We not worried about no reverse slavery or nothing like that.
Because if we were to do something like that, man, I'm telling you,
take it how you want to take it. If it wanted to be done, it would have been done already.
Honestly, man. And I don't know, man. I just don't think people nowadays they're just so unaware of how, I don't even know what I want to say right now, because I don't want to say it the wrong way. I'm not saying that if Black people were to unite, we would go around and kill everybody. So Black people, if y'all watching this don't mean that if we did unite to just take over the world.
Hold up, I don't want to cut you off, but this is important for the Black people in Buffalo talking about, oh, we gonna go to Amherst and get revenge and all that. Shut up.
That's bro. I literally seen. Okay, I'm not saying. Okay, I'm not trying to. I don't even. Bro, I saw some Black guy come up into a store and like threaten to shoot up white people. Bro, do not do that. Do not do that, because it's not making us look no better.
And even if you do,
Jesus.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but the way this man just got off, y'all, you
You
black,
ain't getting
you
off.
ain't getting
You
off
black.
like that.
Getting off.
You ain't getting off alive.
He was able to shoot 10 people, walk out the store, and get arrested.
Yeah.
You go into North Buffalo and shoot 10
You
people
getting
and see what's
killed.
happening.
I'm sorry, but you go into North Buffalo with a gun anyways, you're not even going to be able to shoot people because they're going to shoot you
Exactly.
before you even get
They
Ain't
see you got
no
a
way
gun,
you walking
bro,
in
it's
North
L's for
Buffalo with
you.
a
like that's just the world we live in. And that's just how we
Yeah,
got to
so,
look at it.
Like y'all, for everybody that's on Facebook and Twitter, all that, you just shut up with the ignorance. You ain't finna go to North Buffalo. You ain't going to Wegmans or Dashes to shoot nobody. You shut up.
And I seen
Speaking
another
of that, I want to
seen
talk about something. after
another
you.
ignorant post. People in Rochester were like, they knew not to come over to Rochester.
Yo,
Like,
I
it's like
saw that.
that's so insensitive. Not even that, but it's just like
Yo,
this could happen anywhere. I don't know why people think that
Let me-
that it can't happen in their community. That's what we thought.
let me
Not that it couldn't happen, but
let me
Yeah.
preface this by saying, I know I got people in Rochester. You know who you are, and I think highly of y'all. So I'm not
definitely
This is not
no
towards
shade,
y'all.
no shade.
People only know Rochester because of Buffalo.
Yeah, that's
That's-
kind of a fact.
that's
Not
really
gonna lie.
Not only that, Rochester ain't got no reputation of being all that. Now Buffalo, both people know. I was watching
Nigga,
Judge Mathis.
Drake mentioned us in his song.
I was
Like,
watching
what?
Judge Mathis a while ago with my mom, and it was a lady from Rochester.
Mm.
It was a lady and a man, and he said something like the lady he threw a drink in the lady's face or something, and he was like, "What? You did what?" He's like, "Oh, you better be lucky she wasn't from Buffalo." So Rochester, y'all stay out of here with all we big. Y'all ain't like that.
Y'all not, bro. I'm
Y'all ain't
not
like
just,
that.
y'all not.
Yeah.
I was just matter of fact, another thing. I was just reading and this probably might be down in Buffalo, but in a way, but I was just reading like some statistics that came out a few weeks ago, and they were saying like Rochester is a more affluent and wealthy area. So like even by statistically, y'all ain't with it. Y'all ain't like
Yeah.
Buffalo. Like y'all ain't.
I mean, y'all
We
got
come
the
from the
slums.
Yeah,
slums.
I definitely.
Y'all got
Did.
the slums, but
Right.
when we drove out there, bro, when we first got into the city, I'm like, bro,
Well, that's because her
Man.
people live in like Greece. They live on the suburbs of
Yeah,
Rochester.
I'm-
but even
yeah,
like if
that's
you
true,
actually
but-
drive on the rough side of Rochester, it's not even like.
It ain't that bad. I have seen it.
yeah.
Remember when we drove for the museum?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we was
Yeah.
on that side. Like yeah,
it ain't that bad.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
but because I ain't trying to glorify Buffalo being a effed up place, but I'm just saying like
right.
like
We would.
What- like Janai said, what is that to say? Oh, they
Yeah.
know not
Even
to.
nothing
They
to
know not
say.
to come to
In
Rochester.
this situation, it's just like you just got to be aware. At the end of the day, if you ain't saying rest in peace to the people and my heart goes out to the people,
Bro.
you shouldn't even speak on it.
Facts. And
You
I mean,
shouldn't even speak on it unless you calling people out for what it really is.
yeah, and bro, literally, I seen this post. I wanted to reply so bad with a huge paragraph, but I was telling y'all about this. Some girl had posted. She posted like, I know y'all remember that shooting that happened like last month with the guy in. I think it was Brooklyn maybe, and he like was
Oh, yeah,
shooting
yeah,
up the
New York
train.
City, yeah.
Yeah, right. This girl gonna say, "Oh, you guys are trying to talk about this white guy shooting up all these black people, but nobody said anything when this black guy came and what, bro? She was saying nobody said anything
Okay.
when this black guy came and shot up these people on the train. Nobody said anything when the black people did. Why are you trying to compare?
It's not a competition.
It ain't a
And
competition,
first-
bro.
Okay,
Like, you
that's
so ignorant.
that's
for
number
that.
one. It's not a competition. Number two, he just went and shot up a bunch of people.
A bunch of people. It wasn't directed.
He
towards
wasn't targeting no
Mm.
specific race, no specific
Yeah.
group of people. He was just a fool who went.
Right.
He might actually be mentally ill because he just went and shot. some shit.
Somebody said was making a post like, oh yeah, y'all talking about how he walked away alive and all of this, and but didn't the black man walk away alive too? This was the difference. Not only did he didn't target a race, he threw a smoke bomb, so no one even knew who was shooting.
Right,
or-
right. That's a
And
fact.
then
I
he
forgot about
left.
that.
He left,
And they couldn't find him.
couldn't find him anywhere. And then they ended up finding him or whatever. So either way it goes, it's not the same. You
Yeah,
can't
man.
compare the same. And either way it goes,
And you,
it's just
that just showed your racism right there. You're a racist. Whoever you are, if you ever hear this, no, ain't no
No,
holding
it's
back. You
it's
definitely showing signs of racism for sure.
no.
'cause why
And
are
you know
even
what?
trying to
I
do
think I think my dad told me this. I think yes, it was my dad. The most dangerous kind of racist is the person
that? That don't know that
they're
they're racist. Yeah, bro.
Because those people, they those. Okay, prime. Well, no, this dude he knew. I'm the dude that did the Buffalo thing. He knew he wasn't racist, but I'm like, it's people who really don't know that. Like my dad had a friend that he was a white guy that like he didn't know, and my dad cut him off. I was like,
yeah.
because this the dude that did this the Buffalo terrorist, he's a terrorist. he had his friend was his best friend in quotes was Puerto Rican or something, and had a black girlfriend. And so they interviewed them a couple days ago, I guess, and they was all like, "Oh, I never got signs of this. I didn't know he was a racist." Da 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 da. So it'd be like, just people of color, be careful who you call your friend and who you hanging around, because everybody, people got ulterior motives. Say hi. Say it louder. That's Janaya daughter Jaya, y'all. That's if you follow me personally on social media, you see her all the time. All right, thanks for stopping by, kid. Go pop. So Al Sharpton came and in light of everything that's been going on, and he went in on these pastors here in Buffalo. He was talking about how I think it was geared to whatever he said. I think it was geared towards like pastors and politicians. He said, you know, y'all can come up with $1 billion for a stadium, but y'all only got one grocery store in the hood. And that's another thing that I think people outside of Buffalo don't understand about this whole situation. Why we hurting so bad is the fact that 10 lives were lost, yes. And the reason why Jefferson, we was talking about how with so many vendors up and down Jefferson, is because the only grocery store in the hood we got is now closed.
Because of the situation.
Yeah. And we don't know when it's gonna open up, but Al Sharpton was saying like y'all came up with $1 billion for a stadium, but y'all only got one grocery store in the hood on the east side of Buffalo. And I had never thought about that until he just said, I'm like, yo.
And if y'all gave us another store, it wouldn't be close to no $1 billion, bro. Come on, man, y'all could do it.
Really don't, because that they had to fight to get this store built back in like I think it was like 2003. They had to fight to get this built because at that point it was food desert. It's not funny, y'all. Norm just dropped a potato into his lap. Yeah, Buffalo was a food. This east side of Buffalo was a food desert prior to you know, this store being built. So it's like, you know, y'all just completely disregarded the black community, and it happens a lot, even in our own city. I always say I love Buffalo, like y'all heard us say like the first half hour. We love Buffalo, but I honestly feel like Buffalo is probably one of the most segregated cities I've ever been to.
100%.
If you come to Buffalo, you got your blacks on the east side, you got your racist white people in South Buffalo. North Buffalo is the well-off white people, and then the west side you got your
Ricans.
you got your
In a
Hispanic
melting pot.
You got your Hispanic population, and it's starting to be like Hispanic and Middle Eastern too.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Africans.
Yeah, it's a melting pot over there.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's just very diverse.
But that's how the whole city should be. It shouldn't be you blacks on this side, whites here, white. Like the whole city should be everybody live everywhere. You know, because the truth is, they were saying like when he went to the store, like the shooter, the terrorist, sorry, when he went to the store on Jefferson, he stuck out like a sore thumb because we don't see white people around here. And that's crazy because when I lived in Virginia for those couple years, it was literally whites and black all over the place. Like we all lived together. But in Buffalo, like you see a white people person in your neighborhood, you be like, who the like no funny shit. You be like, yo, is that somebody parole officer? Like what they doing around here?
Yeah, it was just the other day. We don't know what. It was this lady that was in her car and she was in front of our house. Did you see her? And she was just sitting there.
She was just here yesterday.
What's she doing?
I don't know.
But it's just very rare. And no, they need to like stop her. Mommy was like, I'm gonna stop her and ask her what's she doing in front of my house. But it's just like you don't see that. Like, and you coming into our community and everything, you usually don't see Caucasians coming into our community. So it's weird when you do. You know, not weird, but it's just like we're not used to it.
It's a rare sighting.
Yeah.
Yes, especially after what happened. Now it's definitely we see white people. We gonna yo, what you doing here? Because usually before, like you said, dude came and scouted up the grocery store the day before, and somebody bought him a Gatorade. Yeah. Because even though you stick out, you know, we still gonna treat you like with love, like you part of the community. And unfortunately, I think now that's gonna be over with. And I think now when a black person comes to the east, white person comes to the east side of Buffalo, it's gonna be like, you know, like who you know here, like. Yeah. If you don't know nobody here,
and it's like, and it shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. But now it's just like
scary.
It's trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's another form of trauma. You know. Yep. People are traumatized.
Like second guessing and double looking and all that. But I will say, Norm, did you see the memorial, Janaya?
Yeah, I went to the memorial. I went to pay my respects.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, shout out to. Well, let me see what I was gonna say first. I went to the memorial Wednesday. And by Wednesday, I thought I was starting to feel better about the situation. But as soon as me and my dad drove on Jefferson, and I was fine. Literally, as soon as I got out the car and stepped foot on the concrete, I don't know if it was anxiety or what, but I got this weird feeling over me, and it was just like, wow, like I don't know, I can't describe the feeling, but I felt uneasy, being
Bro,
there.
I feel you. I don't know if y'all saw my post the other day on Snapchat, but I said, man, I'm sitting here, I'm at Dollar General, I'm like, I can't even shop without feeling comfortable in that store no more, man.
Yeah.
Like it's
My cousin, my cousin on my mom's side was saying how she felt uncomfortable, and I was just telling her like, yo, if you got an Instacart so you feel comfortable, ain't no shame in like, being safe. If you feel like that's what's best for you, Instacart until you feel comfortable going out again.
Definitely.
Because people keep saying, oh, don't let nobody steal your joy. Don't let nobody steal your. It's easier said than done.
Definitely, because I remember I was just talking to my mom just about the situation and everything too, and she said, "I'm gonna keep it real with you. Even if they do open up that Jefferson store again, I will never step foot in that store again. I will never step foot in that store again. I don't know if I feel the same way. It's gonna be a long time before I will step foot in there if they did open it again. But it's just crazy that people really are like that. This is where we are now.
Me and my brother was talking about that because before I was saying, oh, they should just remodel or renovate it, remodel it, whatever, change it. But now, after being, I ain't even going to the store.
That's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
You was telling me, you was like, nah.
Yeah, I was just in it. I was just in the vicinity of the store. Yeah, I was just in the vicinity. So I was like, nah, they got to tear this joint down. Don't tear it down and leave us in the food desert. Build another one, but they can't even.
My mom was saying that it's a lot down there. Like, I mean, not down there. It's a lot that's down the street from Jefferson. And she was like, even if they do build it up, it don't need to be here again. They just might need to just build it somewhere else,
and it don't need to be a Tops. It got to be an Aldi's or something. It can't be Tops.
I'm just saying we do need. It's a total food desert over there, so we do need.
You need a grocery store.
Yeah, we need a grocery store, but
that Family Dollar ain't cutting it in the next plaza right over there. It's
Family Dollar ain't.
Right, it's not even a food store, bro.
I've seen somebody go grocery shopping in Family Dollar before, and it is. Yeah, I've seen somebody go like full on groceries, spending like $400 in groceries. I mean, do what you got to do, but But yeah, that Tops. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to go back in there. But like my dad was saying when me and my brother was talking about it, he was like, sometimes, if you really need something, you like
put your pride aside and you got to do it.
But I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, that's pride. It's easy to put pride aside. Well, not, but it's easier to put pride aside than like trauma.
Yeah.
And terror.
Right.
So I think that they definitely gonna have to. I don't know. Tear it down, make it like not a Tops, because it's. I don't think I want to go in there. I don't know.
That's where, bro. That's literally where their souls are at. Like you can't feel it. I don't even feel the same in the area anymore. I don't feel.
That's what I'm saying.
Where I'm staying at. I don't even want to leave the house, bro. I want to stay in my room and just.
That's like the whole vicinity. Scary, like as soon as I got out the car, I was just like, wow. Like what is this? Why do I feel like this? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a solution to this problem.
I don't know, man. It's just like, it's a matter of what we can do to make this situation better. Like, I'm not necessarily going to say we just need to, just reopen up the Tops in about a year. Cause man, I don't mean.
Nah, this is the east side of Buffalo is forever changed. There's no amount of time that it'll be like, oh, we'll open it up when things blow over. It's never gonna blow over.
Yeah, man, it's not.
Because even that wasn't just a grocery store. That was a staple in this community. Forget a food desert. It was something about Tops on Jefferson. Like everybody knew about Tops on Jefferson.
People would go in there. You would see people that you haven't seen in a year. Like, hey, how your mom doing? How your grandmother doing? People would go there and talk. You would be going grocery shopping and just sit there and have a conversation with somebody for 15 minutes, and you like, shoot, I should have been out of here.
It was a pastor on the news saying the same thing. Like you can go in there for one thing and come out an hour and a half later, even though you only got one thing because you done ran into 3, 4, 5 people that you know.
It's super, super sad.
But I do want to say shout out to first of all, shout out to President Biden for coming.
Definitely.
you know, it happened Saturday. I believe he was here Monday or Tuesday. Like he
drove by our house.
He drove by my house too.
Yeah.
He drove. Yeah. Don't look me in the eye when you talk to me. The president drove by my house. Not like he drove right here.
I still don't like you, President Biden.
I don't either, but hey, I respect him for coming.
Because I was like, shoot, he came and was out in a couple hours, but then I really had to evaluate myself and just really think about it. Like, shoot, he came. Like, you know what I'm saying? He came to Buffalo and he came and he showed his respects. You gotta give it to the man. You gotta give it to the man.
Don't get it twisted though. When I said that don't mean I like Trump though. I don't like none of them.
Trust and believe.
Don't twist my words. Just because I don't like Biden don't mean I like Trump.
Nah, but so like I said, shout out to Biden, but shout out to the Buffalo Bills too, because you know they multi-millionaires. You know, they could have been. I think they all in town now for training camp, but they could have been wherever they was. Matter of fact, Stephon Diggs was out of town, and Stephon Diggs came. Stephon Diggs flew in from wherever he was at just to come to Buffalo, you know, and pay his respects. So I respect the Bills for that.
Honestly,
and people in Buffalo always so hell bent on, like we were saying, like people like Buffalo has a very like community centered part to it, but it also has it's a lot of haterism here. And you know, like people was talking about, oh, Biden, like they was just finding reasons to hate on Biden and the Bills for coming. Like they did not have to come whatsoever. Like they Joe Biden and the Buffalo Bills did not have to come here whatsoever. They could have went on perfectly living their multi-millionaire lives or doing whatever they was doing in Washington D.C. and they came to Buffalo.
Shout out to the Buffalo Bills because I seen a couple of them come out. They was at Johnny B.
The whole team came out.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see
the whole team came out.
Like 6 players.
The owners came.
Wow.
And the NFL commissioner came. He don't nobody even like him. But hey, shout out to him for coming.
I seen a little bit of controversial post on Facebook. I ain't gonna say no names, but yeah, some people wasn't too happy about that. And
that's what I'm saying. People was finding like they was saying
finding ways to complain. Pretty much
about the Bills coming to the Jefferson.
About Biden, about the Bills.
Exactly. People be reaching so.
I can't remember the argument.
I can't either. But people be reaching so hard to hate on something.
Yeah, I was just
like they did not have to come here.
This right, and you in times of grief. Why are you even trying to think about stuff like
that? First
of
all, let's be honest. The Buffalo Bills probably haven't ever stepped foot on the east side of Buffalo. Okay, they play out in Orchard Park, and most of them live out there. And if they do come to Buffalo, they probably come to North Buffalo or something. So the fact that they heard about a tragedy and some of them wasn't even here because Micah Hyde has a baseball tournament somewhere out of state. So they flew here from wherever he flew here just to pay their respects and serve food and be with the community. Like, you know, it's however you feel about the story, you got to pay their respect for that.
That's a fact.
Definitely, because people don't have to do it. You know, just any way that anybody is just trying to show their respects. We should just be happy, grateful, take it how it is, you know, because people got lives too. We got to understand that, you know what I'm saying? But just because someone came out and showed their respects and just gave their time, you know what I'm saying? It's not about the money, not about none of that, but just came and did that. We shouldn't even have anything negative to say about that at all.
And you know what? I meant to say this earlier when we was talking about all the community-based help that we were getting and whatnot. I forgot his name, but a white guy drove 3.5 hours from Cleveland with 400 pounds of food to donate to our area.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So he definitely. Let me see if I can find, because I had his screenshot, but I might have deleted it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
This is Greg. He's from Cleveland. Today, he made a 3.5 hour drive to Buffalo for an act of kindness. He brought a donation of 417 pounds of food to feed more Western New York. Our thanks go out to him and everyone here who is coming together to show love, to show that love is greater than hate. And he knew, I ain't gonna, the whole podcast, we say he don't really look like the type to be like look at him. Like you would never, I hate to draw conclusions about people, but he don't look like the type that's finna drive 3.5 hours to donate some food.
Who, black homie?
No, the white dude.
Oh, the white dude did it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man.
That's what I was saying.
W white guy.
3 hours from Cleveland. But that's the thing. I was one of my friends in Virginia. I was telling him like Cleveland, Buffalo, and Toronto, like the three, like
Yeah,
we all close.
yeah, that's a fact. Because like I just said earlier, Drake be shouting us out.
Right.
Like, come on,
Shout
man.
to
It's
Buffalo,
Drake.
never duck and lay off. He had us
It's
going
Drake.
crazy. You know what's crazy? Like, okay, so a lot of y'all don't know that. I guess we gonna get them some free promo, I should say. When me and Nora when we first had the idea of doing the podcast, the name of the podcast was gonna be called Cousins Corner.
Yeah.
So we had, I had made designs and Instagram accounts and everything. And Norm said something to me like the day before we were supposed to record for the first time. And whatever he said, it made me like, oh shoot, I didn't even check to see if that name is available. Yo, why did I go on? I think I went on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or something and found
Cousins Corner.
Cousins Corner. It's two female cousins in Toronto with the name Cousins Corner. They do a podcast. So I was like, yeah, that's funny.
So, we had to change the name.
Right.
And we eventually came up with the
All Over Podcast. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram too at the All Over Podcast. I do too. I be forgetting. But going back to covering what we were talking about, just shout out to everybody that came, whether you a famous or not, or a dignitary or a celebrity. Buffalo
not
Bills, Joe Biden, Al Sharpton.
Shout out, not even that. Shout out to everybody who's supported, bro. Who's just supported and have given nonstop support. Even in big celebrities that don't even really know nothing about Buffalo. Like I've seen a lot of the artists and rappers that I follow to just, paying their respects, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to anybody who's even said anything in a positive way about this whole situation.
Right, whether you reposted something on Instagram or, like even if the people that don't live in Buffalo, whether you just, reposted a picture, or even if you haven't donated, if you just gave us, if you gave us genuine thoughts and prayers, like we even appreciate that because we need it. Because like I said, before, this community is never going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting kind of weird talking about it. So it's like, that was the neighborhood grocery store. Like, what's like what Al Sharpton said the other day really starting to resonate with me. Like how we only go for having one grocery store in the hood. Like we should have never went for that in the first place.
I know.
All these empty lots we got on this side of town, like we definitely should have at least one more. I mean, we could honestly have like 3 or 4, but we need at least one more grocery store over here.
Honestly, man, like these little food marts, bro. These little snack marts, Family Dollar. Like I said, that ain't cutting it, bro.
Yeah, you need actual grocery stores. Like you can, bro. Family Dollar only goes so far,
bro. Literally, grandmas and people, family that lived around that area. That was their go-to store.
That's why most of the people that were taken, lives that were lost, are elderly Black people. Is people who who live around there, who may not drive, or they can just walk to the store real quick or whatever. Like that was such a staple in our community. And now for somebody to we don't know when it's coming back. The top said that they put out a statement saying they're gonna the FBI investigation is over with. The FBI just released the store back to them. So they're saying I guess the timeline starts on opening it back up, but it's like we don't know when that's gonna be open back up. Because they can't just open. First of all, they got it's damages they gotta fix. Because I don't know if y'all saw the video, but it's damages. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's damage that they gotta fix, and then they can't just fix it. And then a month from now, all right, we open. Ain't nobody gonna go in there.
Yeah, they gonna have some low sales. That's all I gotta say, bro. My girlfriend actually just went to the Tops on Sheridan, and she just texted me. I was sighs of relief. Just texted me, told me she got home, but she was texting me and she was just saying, bro, I was looking at the door. I was looking around the corners the whole time. I'm breathing heavy. I almost cried when I walked foot in that store. Every Tops you go to, bro. Yeah, not even just the Tops.
Yeah,
like, oh my God.
Because grocery store, well, y'all know that grocery stores are regional. So for those of you who don't know, Tops is our big grocery store that we have in this area.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Janaya?
Tops is like Kroger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah. And I was just saying, like, it doesn't even have to be Tops. Like, even my sister, we have an older sister, Navia, and she was just saying, like, she don't even know the next time she's gonna even go to a grocery store. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a Tops. It doesn't have to. She's not comfortable going anywhere.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it is that this Yeah, I had a performance. It was my first concert performance. Me and my mom was out at these stores all day, and my mom and my girlfriend was planning on going to that Tops, bro. I could have lost my mom and my girlfriend that day, bro. That, like, come on, bro. Like, this whole situation is just like, bro, I'm numb to it, and it's just like, so what can you even say, bro? We done talked about this for like 50 minutes. Well, what can you even say, bro? It's just like
you can't. It's kind of like, and even talking about it. I mean, well, do y'all feel better? Do y'all feel like
not even? I'm gonna be completely honest.
I just feel
I don't
like
know how to feel. Man.
I got
the healing journey has started, but this is gonna take some time.
Yeah. But at least
I
like
definitely healed a little bit
because
the
this
first day it happened.
Yeah,
I was posting about it on my story. Originally, I had heard that, like, I don't know what I was saying. I think I was telling you like 32 people got shot. 41.
When we first heard it, social media is just so crazy. When you said 40 something people had been shot, and we were like, oh, I mean, not trying to down the people that did get hurt,
because 10 people,
but 10 people are one. But when he said 40 something, I was just like, my God, like
I swear to God, I was checking, I was calling my people to see if they was good, because
that's why you really can't.
That's right where we live.
Because Buffalo is so small that when something happened in Buffalo, you either know somebody affected or you know somebody that knows somebody that was affected.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. That's really how it is. Like, I don't know if Norm wants me to put out names, so I won't put out names. But a girl that we knew and he went to school with, but I knew her.
Just like my little sister.
It was her dad.
Her dad.
And I was trying to figure out, because I'm seeing her mom on the news. And I'm seeing her mom trying to talk. She did a speech, and she barely could talk because she was just crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where do I know this lady from? Where do I know this lady from? I could not think of where I knew this lady from, but I knew this lady. And I'm like, if I know her, this lady, I know I'd have been the same place with her husband before. Yeah. And then I come to find out that was one of Norm's friends' mom and dad. The mom is still here. But yeah, it's just you gonna always know somebody that knows somebody, or you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like I was saying, so prime example, we got a cousin that was in there. He wasn't affected physically, thank God. He got some mental and emotional issues that he's gonna have to work through. Yeah. But like I said, we know somebody personally, and then we know Norm. We know Norm, and Norm knows somebody that was affected. So that's two cases of Buffalo being a small place.
I really want to say, because I don't think that people give him enough recognition, but to that security guard, that risked his life, bro. Shout out to you, man.
You know what? And while we on that, I don't want to take this away from him, because I'm so thankful of what he did. But I think that what happens is, what happened, this shoots down the point of, a lot of you get these conservative Republicans to be like, oh, a good guy with a gun is better than the wrong guy with a gun. Okay, well, in this situation, the good guy had a gun. The bad guy just so happened to have body armor and a high capacity rifle. So, it's whether I'm all for the Second Amendment, but I don't think that lunatics should have guns. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna say that. He's not a lunatic, but certain people shouldn't have guns. I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I'm not gonna even try and put that mentally on narrative out there.
And then it's kind of a sticky situation, because it's like, when I first heard about this, and I'm just like, because like we said, we don't really think that something like this, you don't think about something like this happening in your area until it happens. But I was just thinking, like, are we gonna get a gun, Mom? Like, what's gonna go on? And it's sad that we got to think about that. But I'm just saying, for safety purposes, not because we're crazy and we want to go out and go. But I'm just saying, like, and that's the thing. Now, a lot of people are gonna be like, shoot, we need guns, but it's just like, where do people draw the line? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add before we get out of here?
I was gonna say something, but it just kind of slipped my mind. As far as all y'all black people go, man, I'm not saying let this situation just scare y'all from going out there and living y'all lives, man. Live y'all life, have fun. I'm not saying necessarily to just forget about this, because trust me, I don't think that we're ever gonna just flat out forget about it.
No.
But I will say, don't live y'all life, bro. You got to. I should be taking my own advice right now, because I promise y'all I have not been leaving the house. I haven't went anywhere. I just been home, but live your life. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm kind of at a loss of words right now, like this.
Janaya, you got something?
No, I was just wanting to thank you guys for having me as a guest on y'all podcast.
Janaya is
again.
like our unofficial third co-host at this point.
I always like coming and being a guest. I'm not gonna, come, but whenever you guys will have me, I'm always open to be here. And I just thank you for bringing awareness to this situation and just not letting it die down. You guys are using your voices to bring awareness to situations, and your voices are very powerful. And I just thank y'all for just don't let this die down.
Yeah, and actually, what I want to say to end it off has everything to do with what Janaya just said. For the people that's out of town, the people that's listening right now, if you don't live in Buffalo, you want to know how you can help. Sure, you can donate money, you can find ways to send food items and whatnot. But to really tell our story is to really help us out is to share our story.
Spread the message.
Share our story. Let people know what happened, because like I said, this isn't in the mainstream news anymore. Just the local news is talking about this now. So you see a post about and not even when, unfortunately, we know in America this is going to happen again. So when it does happen again, make sure you continue to tell those people's story. Just keep telling the story and let our voices be heard, and let the victims, don't let their names die. Say their names, let their names ring on in history. Maybe one day we'll get some legislation passed and it won't all be in vain. So we want to thank you guys for listening today. I know this episode was kind of heavy, so thank y'all for sticking with us. Remember, you can follow us on Instagram at The All Over Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at Zion_Deville. And you can follow Norm at
Storm Young 716 or Storm upon all others.
All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.
Peace out, y'all. Love.
Young Nab, baby.